Cash Cow back with another video. Today we're gonna do something called uNsung. So basically, it's where I talk about comics that nobody's preaching about. They don't get as much love as they supposed to, but they still valuable. Like people tend to skip over certain ones. And this one don't mean as much because the cover don't look as cool and all that, but show them some love. That's what I would do. That's what I do. Want to see those comics? Stay tuned. We got the new Avengers number 27. It's the first appearance of the second Ronin, later to be revealed as Clive Barton. Now, I can understand in a way why New Avengers 28 gets more love than this copy. It's a cooler cover, it's darker and the green writing, like it's a nice cover. But this is his first appearance. Now I do see this comic actually eventually going up in value once Hawkeye's series on Disney Plus comes out. Right now you can snatch these up for under $20. Nobody's talking about them. Nobody wants them. And I don't get it. I really don't understand it because this is his first appearance. And he's still on the cover. Just he's not on the cover like New Avengers number 28. Something you guys should invest in. If you can get both of them, get them. Not too expensive right now, but I see as the series comes out and they dig deeper into the Ronin storyline, that this will become expensive. This will see its day one day. You can bet on that. Right now you can pick them up for under $20. Snatch you up a few copies. Number 2. Submariner number 34. Now with it being slated that Namor's gonna finally appear, and he's probably gonna appear in Black Panther, I don't see why this hasn't gotten any of its value, being the fact that this is the first appearance of the Defenders team, which is Doctor Strange, Hulk, and Namor. Now, Marvel feature number 1 is another one that doesn't get its love also, and I'm trying to understand because I see them going that route one day with them all teaming up. Those characters will still be alive and in the MCU. So I can see them going that way to have them team up to fight whoever. This is their first team appearance. Not a bad cup. For the most part, you can get decent copies for under $50. And I mean decent copies. I don't get it. You would think with them finally confirming the speculation that Namor is appearing, I get it. Submariner number 1, 1968 is spiked in value, and anything that goes back to the golden age of him has spiked in value. I understand that. But for the average collector, why not get this? They're gonna. I feel like in my heart, eventually, they're gonna make them team up. Like I said in the video before, they're gonna do team up movies. I don't see more Avengers movies, and I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But I see them doing team up movies. So you may see a Young Avengers movie, or you may see a Defenders movie, or something on that caliber. Not a bad copy to snatch up. You can't go wrong with that. And it's the first appearance of them as a team together. So if it's confirmed one day that they will appear as a team, comics like this, Marvel feature number 1, Defenders number 1, all those will skyrocket. You can quote me on that now. They will shoot to the moon. Number 3. Got 2001: A Space Odyssey number 8. First appearance of Machine Man. Now I get it. Most people are like, "Oh, well, he hasn't made any appearances in anything." And what happens if he does? This is a very underrated key to me because if they're going into the future, you might see characters like him. You might see characters like Deathlock. If they're going into space and in the future, they're going to eventually try to experiment with one of these type of characters and bring them out and let you guys show for yourself if you like it or if you want it or not. Not a bad copy. Also, another comic book that you can snatch up for under $50 with it being the first appearance of him. Now, for a minute, it did have a spike, and then after that, it just dipped back off. So, right now, it's kind of level. It's not really going anywhere right now. It's nobody talking about him, nobody mentioning him. But I think, like, this, he sticks around. Like, he in certain copies, you see him fighting the Hulk or somebody like that. I can see him being thrown into a series one day. They might start off with a TV series with him. That's what if the large majority of people don't know about him, that's what I would do. I wouldn't just throw him in the movie just yet. I would let him experiment with being on the show first and see how fans react to that, and then after that, we go for it. Number 4. Fantastic Four, number 53. The second appearance of Black Panther. The first appearance is expensive. I'm lucky I have that, but it's expensive. So you would think if a lot of people aren't able to get their hands on the first appearance, they would go after the second appearance. You can find these sometimes for under $40. 50 tops. It's an iconic character. They're going to make another movie. We'll see how that goes. And if that goes well, they'll probably make a third one. But this is his second appearance. I don't get it. They should be talking about this a lot more. Especially being the fact I feel like the more that the character is on the cover, that puts them out more, and that you know what you're getting when you buy this comic. You know who it's going to feature. 5. You got X-Men number 13. The second appearance of Juggernaut, which happens to be my favorite Marvel character. I know I'm weird. You're like, oh, well, lots of us like this superhero, this and that. I like the villains. I've always liked the villains. Juggernaut happens to be my favorite villain. Darkseid is my favorite DC villain, besides Bane. Kind of a mixture. It's kind of tough at times. So you got DC, you got Darkseid, then you got Bane, then you got Darkseid, then you got Bane. Yeah. But this is my favorite Marvel character. And I mean character. I don't mean like, oh, it's the favorite villain and they got favorite. This is my favorite character. I love Juggernaut with a passion. His first appearance has skyrocketed. And it's only going to continue to get hotter because, one day with Marvel acquiring the rights back from Fox, that the X-Men are coming. So, his first appearance, you got certain copies selling for over $1,000. So I don't get why you can still afford his second appearance for under $100 sometimes. Makes no sense to me. I don't understand it. It's hard to get the first copy or the first appearance. Get the second appearance. That's usually what, if you can't afford the first, go after the second appearance because that still will maintain and hold some value to it. Look at that cover, man. Look at that. Look at his arms. Oh, man. Juggernaut just iconic, man. Iconic. How can you not love the Juggernaut? Like, how... I mean, I don't get me wrong. Vinny Jones playing it in the X-Men movie, I was like, yeah. They did a better job with Juggernaut in the Deadpool #2 movie than they did with Fox doing it. It's the X-Men Last Stand. I'm sorry, uh, people may be like, yeah, I didn't like it. I still don't like it to this day. I'm sorry, I just don't. So, got 5. We are halfway through. Number 6. And hold 2 hands. I can't hold both. We got Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and X-Men King Size Annual #1. This is an early appearance, and actually the first appearance of the X-Men, the second team, outside of their title. So it's an early Wolverine appearance as well. So I don't understand, with other Wolverine copies spiking and getting hotter, why is everybody sleeping on this? This may be like his 3rd or 4th appearance. And right now you can find this for under $20. I would suggest get a few of them, because once people finally discover that this comic is actually valuable, I can see it going up to a $60, $70 comic book. Not depending on the grade. You got 9.8, you probably can. You control the market, do what you want to with it. I ain't mad at you. Hopefully, I'll make it buy it from you. So, this is like I said, this is an early appearance of the X-Men, and you know that the X-Men are coming. They're bringing them back out. They're gonna give you a few years without them, because they want to get away from that debacle that Fox did. And I don't blame them, because, man, Fox just messed up some movies. Man. They really just, oh Lord. I was surprised that they got Deadpool and Venom right, but for the most part, that ain't their style. They don't need to do that. They need to just leave it alone. It's Marvel's characters. Let them do what they supposed to do. Oh man. Anyway, this is an early appearance, y'all. Snatch them up. They floating around too easily. And I can see, once that guy that you see in the back right there gets discovered on Wolverine #1, 1982, his first limited series. Once that gets discovered that this is one of his early appearances just as well, I see this book becoming very valuable. Don't say I ain't tell you so. Just saying that to see how stuff goes. Next, number 7. Lucky 7, baby, okay. We got Captain America Annual #8. First appearance of Test 1, which is really not a big character. But that iconic cover of Wolverine striking Captain America's shield. Can you imagine if they finally do an X-Men versus Avengers movie? Which is a lot of comics that have had them two fighting each other in groups. If they were to show this scene where a young Wolverine is slashing Captain America's shield, this will go nuts. People will go nuts for that. That is a classic cover. You got hero on hero fighting each other. It's an iconic cover. It's kind of like the same thing of Incredible Hulk 181, where you got Hulk fighting Wolverine. If you see that in a movie and the comic's already valuable, oh man. Right now you can get these for under $30. Sometime under that, under 20. I got a few copies of mine that I'm holding on to. I'm not gonna sell them yet. And I'm gonna keep a few for myself. You know how it goes. I don't understand it. Why people wait so long for some of this stuff. You got the chance, just get it. Especially when it's out of sight and out of mind and people aren't talking about it. That's the time you guys should be investing in it. You should be taking the chances because you will thank yourself down the road. And you have to be able to wait. You have to be able to show patience with it and wait. And realize that, okay, one day it's going to get its day. Not yet, not yet. It may take 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years. Just wait. You're going to still be buying and collecting other comics until then. Just wait for it to have its day. And you'll thank yourself later on down the road like, man, I remember when I bought that. I remember when I did that. I remember when I did that. I remember how much I paid for. Just saying, y'all. Just has the newsstand variants. You know what I say about that barcode. Check for that barcode. Hop on it. It's under $20. Just hop on it and get it. Number 8. We got Nova number 1. This copy I don't understand because you can find copies for under $100. And to me, this comic has the most potential out of any other comic in this list. I feel like one day they will give Nova his chance, and they're gonna either insert him into Thor, like Thor God of Thunder, something coming out wrong with that, Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe, or Captain Marvel. They're going to space. Nova's a very iconic figure in the Marvel realm in space. I can see them doing one day where Nova comes into play, and then you may have like Annalise come into play, and because Annalise is actually a big villain of him and the Fantastic Four. Or they could wait till the Fantastic Four come out and then they put Nova out. But you've seen like certain trailers that he's coming, we just don't know when, or he's been talked about, or he's been discussed. So I could see him either coming through Fantastic Four's window, Captain Marvel's window, or Thor window. One of the ways, three. He got 3 ways I could see him coming. And all 3 of those characters can deal with space. I feel like this comic one day, you can find certain copies now for under $100. If he actually appears, and you know the crazy thing about it on Endgame, they actually had a credited part or scene or something that they edited him out of. So he's coming. They're saving him for the right time. Can you imagine what happens if he actually debuts and appears in a comic? In a movie? This comic will, man. And it's just bubbling right now. Just bubbling. Just waiting this time, bubbling. You might not see the gains on this, but every year it's continuing to slightly go up, slightly go up. I would say, guys, jump on it now. You can find copies for probably $60 to $80. I stashed away a few of them, and I'm just waiting this time. But I like the character. He's not bad. And if I'm not mistaken, in Guardians of the Galaxy, it's either 1 or 2, but they talk about the Nova Corps. And Richard Rider, who is Nova, him. He's nowhere to be found. So I feel like with them going into space, it's going to lead to him being there. They have to. It only makes sense. This has the most potential. That has the most potential. Trust me, it does. Number 9, and the final comic of uNsung. We got Detective Comics number 400. The first appearance of Man-Bat. Now I get it. The character hasn't been featured other than when it was in Batman animated series or not. But the comic is still valuable. It still sells. If you watch eBay's or certain things on Go Collect or anything, it's still a valuable comic. Which I don't understand, because just think if he were to make an appearance. They were to make a new Batman show, or if any of the Batman movies that they made remake for the 48th time, and they finally bring out a Man Bat. You think this will still be a comic? You know, it's still valuable. It's not going to be found in a dollar bin. If it is, then God bless you and snatch it up, please. And let me know if they have more copies and I can get a few of them. But I mean, just look at that iconic cover. Like, if you watch Batman animated series as a kid or adult, I don't know how old you guys are. When it was his turn to fight Batman, it was very good. I can see them doing that later on down the road. One day it may happen. It may happen. It may be on a TV show and not on the big screen. But I see this comic becoming more valuable if it actually does appear. That's a good little, man. Batman got a run. He has a run of comics that are just legendary. Him, Spider-Man, those two, this villain after villain after villain, classic villains and covers. You're just like, oh my Lord, this is, whew, man. This is Cash Cow with another video. Cash Cow out.